your question more specific. He is testified on so many things.
Of this particular order, Your Honor. I am showing him a document, Your Honor.
Still vague, Your Honor, and too general.
No,
I am showing you a document, an order issued by Benito A. Cataran, Director, Company Registration and Monitoring Department, pertaining to an order issued by you, Mr. Witness, pertaining to corporations which were required to submit annual reports such as GIS and financial statement pursuant to Section 141 of the Corporation Code. What is the relation of this with the statement you made earlier, Mr. Witness?
The question, Your Honor, is too long. We would not know when to object and so on. May we request that the question be simplified, Your Honor? Because
that is as simple as
the
it
witness
could
is
be,
very
Your
intelligent witness, Your Honor.
Let the witness answer. Mr. Witness, what is Section 141 of the Corporation Law?
This is the particular provisions of the Corporation Code which require the submission of reports to the Commission.
Which requires?
The submission of general information sheet and financial statement.
So that is the basis of your requirement that a corporation must submit a general information sheet and financial statements.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, proceed.
And with this order, it's stated that because of non-filing of this report, general information sheet and financial statement within period of more than at least 6 years from the period of 1997 up to 2002, we revoked the certificate of registration of Basa Gitote Enterprises, Inc.
What is that? What is the action taken by your office?
We stated in this order which I signed that the corporation has to may I read Your Honor the order?
No, yes, just tell us in a nutshell what was the action of your office.
We notify the corporations to submit reports, and they have to explain within 30 days why they did not submit the reports. And it says here that after the lapse of 30 days, and they fail to comply with the requirements or to settle
of Section 141 of the Corporation Code.
Yes, sir. We will consider their certificate of registration revoked.
All right. Now, the chair would like to posit this question. What is the effect of that revocation of registration?
When the corporation failed to file an appeal, it becomes effective. And with the effectivity of this order, its corporate existence is considered as none, no longer exists. Meaning, with this revocation order...
Wait a minute. You mean the corporation is dissolved?
Yes, sir. That's the opinion of the Commission that whenever a corporation...
Wait a minute. Let me clarify this. Isn't it that a corporation exists when it is incorporated as a person?
Yes, Your Honor.
That only the stockholders can dissolve it, or the government through a co-warranto proceeding?
We have the authority, the SEC, as the authority to revoke, suspend, revoke articles of incorporation.
So therefore, do you consider this corporation as a corporation in liquidation?
Well, since we already revoked...
No, I'm asking you because when you say the corporation is dissolved, it is not the end of the corporation.
They can still
It
exist.
goes into a liquidation process.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
They have 3 years within which to liquidate after the date of revocation.
Is that a matter of record that they liquidated the corporation?
We don't know, Your Honor.
So you do not know whether the corporation is considered as a person for purposes of its creditors and stockholders?
We have opinions which says that whenever the corporate franchise is revoked, the corporation is considered dissolved.
Well,
So,
this is a matter of law. Under what authority in the Corporation Code is the SEC authorized to cause the dissolution of a corporation?
we can consider this, Your Honor, as involuntary dissolution of the corporation through an act by the Commission.
There is a provision, if I remember correctly, by corporation law, there is a provision in the corporation law regarding the liquidation, dissolution and liquidation of a corporation.
Yes,
Has
sir.
that been removed and changed?
No. There is still a provision, Section 122.
It's
of
still the
Constitution.
same.
Yes, sir.
Since the corporation law was adopted in the early turn of the last century.
Yes, Your Honor. It's still
Oh.
there.
So if it has not been changed, will you kindly tell me where the SEC draws its power to dissolve a corporation without complying?
We have the, Your Honor, under PD 902-A, the SEC has the authority to suspend and revoke certificate of registration.
Suspend the
But-
operation
and
of the
revoke also.
corporation. But you cannot kill that corporation.
But we can revoke its
Yes, you
registration.
can revoke its right to operate, but you cannot kill it. You cannot make it die. Only the stockholders can make it die, or the government, through the power of a co-warranto proceeding, can kill it.
Well,
Are there proceedings like this?
at present, our opinion is, as I mentioned.
Anyway,
but,
proceed, Counsel.
At this juncture,
Mr. President,
Yes. What is the pleasure of the gentleman?
it's a gentle lady, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'm present here. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Mr. President, may I just seek clarification from your previous statement?
The Philippines.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I just seek clarification from your statement regarding the dissolution of a corporation? May this representation be enlightened whether the revocation of registration of a corporation is synonymous to its dissolution? I wonder whether it was answered by the witness. And how many years upon the non-filing of a GIS would the SEC revoke its registration? And third, what happens to the assets or the properties of that corporation, since the presiding officer said that it does not mean that the revocation of the certificate of registration would actually mean the non-operation of the corporation? Just for this representation's enlightenment.
we have issued opinions, the Commission issued that with respect to revocation of the corporate franchise, we consider the corporation as dissolved. And from the date of the effectivity of the revocation, the corporation has to liquidate its asset.
This court directs the witness to submit a legal memorandum showing as the authority of the Securities and Exchange Commission to consider corporation which is non-compliant with the provision of Section 141 of the Corporation Code is authorized to dissolve it. And what is the procedure of dissolution?
May I know, Mr. President, thank you for that elucidation. May I know, Mr. President, whether it is an uncommon practice for corporations, after not having submitted their GIS, to eventually have their certificate of registrations revoked or suspended or revoked, and eventually after a few years, when there are corporate activities, for them to just pay fines before the SEC and to have their corporations in active status again? Is this possible?
There is no mention in the PD 902 as to how many years before we can revoke a corporation, the certificate of registration of a corporation. There is no mention whether it be after 1 year of non-filing or 2 years, but usually as a matter of practice, we revoke the registration if the corporation has not been submitting reports, GIS and FS, for at least 3 years.
With the permission of the lady senator, I'll just want to clarify one point. Corporation whose registration is revoked, can it be revived?
That was my question.
Before the finality...
No, I'm asking you, can it be revived?
Yes, Your Honor.
So therefore, it's not dissolved. Because when you dissolve the corporation, you kill it, you cannot revive it.
Which brings me to my question before that, which is exactly the same question. Is the dissolution of a corporation the same as the revocation of the certificate of registration? And what happens to the assets of that corporation during the time after the revocation of the registration?
What I'm saying is that the effect of the revocation of the corporate franchise is to dissolve the corporation.
How can you revive a dissolved corporation? Under what authority?
If the revocation order is not yet final and executory, they can be appealed. The corporation involved can always file an appeal.
I think your office is doing an arbitrary implementation of the corporation code. But at any rate, the lady senator has the floor.
Well, I support the position of the chair, the presiding officer, that perhaps the SEC can provide the body with a legal memorandum to this effect so that we may fully understand this. But my question is this an uncommon practice?
No, Your Honor.
There are many corporations who...
Yes, Your Honor.
Then the prosecution, of course, has not finished its direct examination. I just wanted to understand the revocation of the certificate of registration of the Basa Enterprises and the relevance to the Sal N or Article 2 of the Articles of Impeachment. That was what I wanted to see, because in my understanding, the Chief Justice had supposedly borrowed money from Basa, which was supposed to have gone to the purchase of real estate property